Have you ever just signed into Destiny one day and thought to yourself, I wonder what it would be like if Destiny and Dark Souls got weird with each other and had a baby? Well, either have I, but for the sake of this build video, we're going to pretend we did because us Titans have a big stick called the Crown Splitter. That's right. This fine sword was probably handcrafted by baby Saint 14 himself and came out a long time ago, but was sunset because Bungie is, well, Bungie. But it's back and better than ever, especially with Stasis being introduced to the game, which means I can't help myself. I have to make a build with it. So if you like throwing spears, spamming grenades, getting medieval on some frozen baddies with a big old sword, then I got you covered. What's up, my fellow weirdos? How are you? I can't think of anything more satisfying as a Titan than slamming the Crown Splitter through an enemy's head, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this build. So without wasting any time, let's get into it already. Starting off with the Stasis subclass. For the aspects, we'll be using Tectonic Harvest and the new one for the season, Diamond Lance. Tectonic Harvest creates shards that grant melee energy when you shatter stasis crystals. And Diamond Lance, or as I like to call it, the Spear of Destiny because I'm corny like that, creates a lance whenever you shatter or defeat targets with stasis abilities. This includes melee, grenades, supers, and the new cryo sidearm. The lance will hang around for 25 seconds before it disappears, but the moment you pick it up, it has a short cooldown before it can produce another lance. It can be thrown by using the trigger or slamming it on the ground as a melee to freeze targets. It kinda reminds me of the old Warmind spears. For the fragments, we'll be using Whisper of Shards, Whisper of Torment, and Whisper of Hedrons. Whisper of Shards boosts your grenade recharge rate when you shatter stasis crystals. Whisper of Torment gives you grenade energy anytime you take damage from targets. And Whisper of Hedrons gives you a 25% damage bonus to all weapons for 10 seconds after freezing a target with stasis, and we like that. Moving over to the mods, this will be a 5 charge with light setup. The mods are Taking Charge, Stacks on Stacks, Supercharged, Firepower, and Energy Converter. Taking Charge makes you charge with light anytime you pick up orbs of power. Stacks on Stacks for that extra stack of charge with light anytime you earn a stack. Supercharged lets you earn 2 additional stacks of charge with light. Firepower gives you back a portion of your grenade energy when you use your grenade, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. And Energy Converter, which grants you up to 50% of your super energy when using your grenade. This mod will not consume any stacks once you hit the 50% mark on your super bar. That's why I used Firepower as well, to continue consuming the stacks of charge with light. For the minor mods, I used Ashes to Assets from the artifact and Hands-On on the helmet to give you bonus super energy from grenade and melee kills. Impact Induction on the arms to reduce grenade cooldown when causing damage with a melee. Melee damage resistance on the chest to reduce point-blank range damage. Absolution on the legs to reduce all ability cooldowns when you pick up an orb of power. And Distribution on the Titan mark to reduce ability cooldowns when using your class ability near enemies. The exotic armor, it was a toss-up. I couldn't really decide between the Heart of Inmost Light or the Stronghold Gauntlets, but I settled on the Inmost Light for the faster grenade energy when using your abilities. The exotic perk is called Overflowing Light. Using an ability, grenade, melee, or barricade, empowers the other 2 abilities. Empowered means abilities have faster regen, melees and grenades do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. For the weapons, I had to throw the new Cryosthesia exotic sidearm in the mix. The trait is Liquid Cooling. Final blows with this weapon enable a charged shot for a short duration. Targets hit by this shot are instantly frozen at the cost of the weapon's entire magazine. And the intrinsic trait is LN2 Burst. When Liquid Cooling is active, hold the trigger to fire a charged shot. This bad boy has a catalyst that auto-reloads after defeating a target that's frozen, which works great when you swap to the Crown Splitter. Full disclosure though, I lost my sanity on the catalyst and gave up trying to grind it out, but if you get it, the catalyst synergizes great with this build. I was able to test it out on someone else's account and it flows nicely. The energy weapon is your choice, preferably something masterwork to create orbs. And for the heavy and the main event of this whole build, the Crown Splitter. You can get this as a world drop or from the focused engram called Blades in the helm. And make sure you put a major spec mod on it to help with the big boy enemies as well. Now let's go over how everything flows together, because this is my favorite part. When picking up orbs of power, you will become charged with light from taking charge. Every stack of charge with light you earn will give you a bonus stack because of stacks on stacks. You can earn up to 4 stacks total because of the mod Supercharged. If you see a crowd of ads, throw that glacial grenade and freeze them, which will give you a nice chunk of your super from Energy Converter. The more stacks you have, the more energy you get. If you're already at the halfway point of your super bar, firepower will kick in and give grenade energy every time you use your grenade, consuming 1 stack. You will also get a 25% damage buff for 10 seconds from Whisper of Hedrons the moment you freeze something with that grenade. And you know what comes next. Slam your crown splitter with that 25% damage buff right in the middle of those stasis crystals. But you have to make sure you jump really high in the air and yell before slamming down, because it's the Titan way. When you shatter those crystals, it will leave shards from the fragment Whisper of Shards to boost your grenade recharge rate, and to spare from the aspect Diamond Lance. That lance will freeze whatever it comes in contact with, which means you have more frozen targets to hit with the crown splitter. In the background, you'll also be receiving grenade energy by just taking damage from adds because of the fragment Whisper of Torment. And in between all this, make sure you're using barricades and melees to help recharge your grenade faster from Heart of Inmost Light. If your grenade isn't fully recharged yet, break out that Cryosthesia and freeze a target to get a damage buff along with a new lance. This build was a blast to make, but even more fun to use. I can't take full credit for it though. I got a little help from the boys over at Spicy CBT Vanguard Clan. More specifically, Beta himself, for planting the sword and stasis idea, so thank you. If you found this video helpful, a like would be greatly appreciated, but more importantly, be a good person to one another and have a fantastic day. Thank you!